Hi guys, and welcome back to Toby Investigates. Now this time around I've been looking at hybrid bikes. Hybrid bikes are of course the category of bikes that fall between road and mountain bike, that massive void there. Generally hybrid bikes can be specifically designed for a very specific task, however they are also great multitaskers. I'm going to show you through the categories and see if we can find out exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so as I've just said, the space between a road bike and a mountain bike is absolutely enormous. And I like to think of this space as being filled with hybrid bikes. Now, what exactly is a hybrid bike? Well, a hybrid bike can be anything you want it to be. You can pick and choose the best bits from any bike you like, and most likely find it in a hybrid bike. Now, if we think about our spectrum from mountain bikes at one end of the scale to road bikes at the other end of the scale, there are many different steps you can take along that spectrum with a hybrid bike specifically designed for each step. Now looking at the bike behind me, this is quite obviously at the mountain bike end of the spectrum. Why is it quite obviously there? Well, it's the suspension on the forks. You see this here. This will have less than 100 mil of travel typically, which is not something you'd find on a mountain bike as they require something a bit more rugged. This, however, does give you a plush ride, and with the addition of large volume tyres, these large ones here, it's going to be super grippy. It'll allow you to go off-road and have a bit of fun there if you want. I've also got a nice, really comfortable saddle, super wide handlebars for control, very, very easy to use hydraulic disc brakes on this model, and these ergonomic grips which make comfort just one of the best things about this bike. Pretty rugged machine if you ask me. So what if you said to me, Toby, I don't care about mountain biking, I just want to go fast. Well, I might refer you onto the road bike end of the hybrid bike spectrum, and that might look something like this. This is a BMC Alpine Challenge and is very different from the Specialized Cross Trail we just saw. This is essentially a road bike, but with flat bars. You see, this gearing here is exactly the same gearing as you may find on some competitive road bikes. We also have thinner tyres that roll smoother because they have a less aggressive tread on them, and these bars here are slightly thinner to give you a more racy feel. The bike itself is very lightweight, it's got an aluminium frame, and these forks you might be able to hear, these are carbon fibre. Overall the bike feels a lot more racy than the Cross Trail. However, it won't cope as well in rugged conditions. Now, we've seen both ends of the spectrum with these two bikes, but there are many stages in between, and I think it's up to you to research exactly what you'd like and find what you're looking for, the best of both worlds basically. However, there are a few more bikes which don't really fit into any of those categories. I'd like to show you exactly what they are. Departing from our binary opposition of road and mountain, we can look at something completely different. I think I probably want to sum this up as a cruiser style of bike. You see behind me this wonderful sunshiny number, Pinnacle Californium, is very different in frame design than the other two bikes we've just seen. These are very, very, very popular in European cities, places such as Amsterdam. Some people even refer to these as Amsterdam style bikes. And they're not to be written off. They are incredibly simple, which means they're easy to maintain. You'll notice here on the back wheel, the gears aren't hanging down. There's nothing to hit or nudge here. All of your gears are inside the rear hub. The brakes as well, these are very simple forms of brakes, which makes maintenance is very, very easy to do. Also, hardly ever required. These tubes here being quite thin will mean the frame has quite a lot of give in it. You've got this very large seat and these wonderful wingback bars that you can really just sit back and chill. I have the advantage of living by the seaside, and taking one of these along the seafront in the summer is like a dream come true. And so the last bike I wanted to show you guys today is what I like to think of as a utility bike. Now, this sort of bike seems to take in the best bits of the last three bikes we've seen. You have the comfort of the cruiser, you have the relative speed of the road end of the spectrum, and you have the ruggedness of the mountain bike end of the spectrum. However, you also have the added bonus of rack mounts, mudguard mounts, fender mounts, whatever you like. You can adapt these bikes to be your workhorse, basically. So this is the Pinnacle Lithium, and And the reason I wanted to show you this is because it's a great balance of everything we've just seen. We've got these tyres with a tread aggressive enough to handle with some off-road, but they also run very smoothly when on the road. We have a very wide range of gears, which means if you want to get up to speed, you can. However, again, if you're off-road, you can, use these gears to your full advantage, getting up any steep hills or anything like that. We have powerful disc brakes, which really help out if you were going to put racks on this with these rack mounts here. You've got space for a front rack as well. Really help out when you've got the added weight on the bike that will bring you to a stop very quickly indeed. And again, we have a very comfortable position with flat bars. I like to think of these sort of bikes as absolute workhorses. Now, the key thing I want to get across with hybrid bikes is that although they are designed for specific purposes, they can also multitask better than any other type of bike out there. You wouldn't want to ride a mountain bike trail on a road bike, nor would you want to ride a stage of the Tour de France on a mountain bike. Yet, a hybrid bike, you could do both of those things with a little bit of difficulty in the more technical sections. The point I'm trying to make is, with this bike, I could be happy riding it into town with some friends or exploring the local woodlands with some family. It would not pose a problem for this bike. Anyway, there are a multitude more of bikes and I'm sure you have loads of questions. If you do, I encourage you please to get in contact with us in the comments below this video, on our social network channels, or even give us a ring or pop in store. Thank you for tuning in for another episode. I hope I've been able to help you out with maybe making a decision on a hybrid bike. I'm off out to take this for a spin, and until the next time, enjoy the ride.